With the arrival of summer weather, the first pandemic-era tour season began around the Great Lakes. Wisconsin business owners were among the first to welcome visitors.
On May 13th, the Wisconsin Supreme Court overturned the governor's safer-at-home orders. As the first state in the region to fully reopen, business owners saw the return of out-of-state customers. Wisconsin Public Radio journalist Corey Hess reported that the sudden influx of traffic began raising health concerns.
In Illinois, the number of coronavirus cases is significantly higher than in Wisconsin. So I think some of these border businesses, border cities are worried about the people coming up here. I mean, they've always welcomed tourism, but in this time of a pandemic, I think they also are a little nervous.
Tourism is just one factor contributing to the business community's mixed feelings.
Business owners that I've talked to have described this loss as worse than the Great Recession of 2008. They've had to lay off people, they've had to furlough people, they have gotten loans, federal loans, but that hasn't really helped them. I think a lot of business owners don't want to be looked at as the bad guy, though, for reopening.
Debbie Glembaki, owner of the Brat Stop in Kenosha, a restaurant, cheese mart, and concert venue close to the Illinois border, still feels torn about reopening.
There are some who get critical and say that, we're just greedy business owners. I feel bad that I don't want anybody to think badly of us. We're just trying to make a living. I don't like to be looked at as if I don't care about my fellow human. I really do. I want everybody to be safe. I just think it's up to them how they choose to be safe.
For small businesses that depend on visitors, safety guidelines became ambiguous after the Supreme Court overturned the governor's executive order.
There has been some mixed messaging between our state health officials and some of the Republican leadership and the Supreme Court. And I think the interpretation really just depends on how people personally feel.
If you decide you want your staff to all wear masks and follow, the gloves and the plastic wrapped silverware and all that stuff, that's great. But I really don't know that you should be critical of those that don't follow your exact guidelines. And it should be up to you, I think, how you run your business.
The governor's administration is still urging safety and restraint. It means the Wisconsin Department of Tourism's message remains cautionary. Dream now, travel later.
Yes, the state's reopen, but you don't have to be out. Please stay at home. That's really been their response.
Although for Debbie, reopening is her only choice.
It's my family business. Been here, like I said, since 1961. My dad passed away last year, and I don't want to lose something that's been here forever, and I take it personally. So if I'm not, if we're not open and running the way we always have been, I don't know how we can stay open.
200 miles north of Brat Stop, Door County is saying they're also ready to reopen.
We all know this will be an unusual season.
And we are preparing our businesses so everything is safe for our staff and for you when we can all get back together.
We're certainly have different messaging this summer than we initially had planned to when we put our plan together late last year. But, again, what is key for Door County and for any travel destination is going to be to take some basic precautions. Wearing a face covering, practicing social distancing, just being responsible and kind about things, respecting a business owner's, whatever they're asking their customers to do. And if we can do those things, I think we'll all be able to get back to doing what we love, and that's traveling here this summer.
Not all Door County business owners feel the same.
We have had some that were not open over Memorial Day weekend. They opted to hold off. And there are still some businesses, and I suspect that we'll see altered business operations in a number of businesses throughout the summer season in 2020.
One local distillery, known for its craft bourbon, decided to go all in on their new side hustle.
It seems like our industry kind of doubled down and saw an opportunity to make hand sanitizer since the main active ingredient is alcohol. So we did the same. And we started at first donating it to local hospitals and a couple of the elderly communities here and some first responders. And then interest grew and grew and grew, and pretty soon our phone just kept ringing. Also, everyone comments that it smells so good and that it smells like bourbon.
The switch to sanitizer inspired a collaboration with other businesses. Kane Gettleman, owner of a trade show banner business that now prints custom masks, teamed up with Hatch to form a sanitizer delivery service.
I reached out and I said, Chris, I think we can do something for the businesses. What do you think about, I'll go out and figure out how to do the dispenser portion of this thing, because you can't even buy pumps right now.
While Hatch will supply the sanitizer, Gettleman's company is sourcing automatic dispensers, and a local newspaper is handling deliveries. Over 300 local businesses have already signed up for the program. As for the public health payoff, well, it's quite literally in the hands of patrons.
I don't know that everybody is going to do it when they walk in a door. I don't know that I can post somebody there, but with the right signage and the right encouragement, and when it's universally available, washing your hands or using hand sanitizer instead is far less objectionable. Let's put it this way. I haven't seen anybody in a position of leadership attack the idea of cleaning your hands. Okay? That's why it's going to work.
As of mid-June, Wisconsin Department of Health reporting does show new COVID-19 cases are trending downward. However, there's been concern that large crowds gathered for the Black Lives Matter protests could drive numbers back up.
Social distancing is out the window at these protests. If there is a spike because of the protests, they might have to start closing down again.
But businesses, like the Brat Stop, just may have something to say about it.
I don't think, just from talking to the business owners that I've spoken to, that if they see coronavirus cases spike in their community, that the majority of them will be willing to close their doors again, because I think that the losses that they've taken are just too much.
Thanks for watching. For more on these stories and the Great Lakes in general, visit greatlakesnow.org. When you get there, you can follow us on social media or subscribe to our newsletter to get updates about our work. See you out on the lakes.